Welcome to Hard Off Funabashi Narashinodai. This store is an absolute hidden gem featuring consoles as old as Sega Dreamcast and stuff as new as a Nintendo Switch. You can find just about anything you're looking for retro game related in this store, with an exhilarating junk section that features some amazing deals you won't be able to find anywhere else, including games for as low as 110 yen. You don't want to miss this stop. Without further ado, let's get straight into this video and I hope you enjoy. Another day, we're still in Japan and we're still doing our daily hard off shopping. There's our bus that just dropped us off. Now let's get into this hard off. Back at the place where it all goes down. Welcome again to Hard Off. Let's get straight into this store and see what it's all about. When you first walk in, you're greeted with the camera case. Pretty cool, but that's not the only reason we're here. We're here for these retro games, and will you just take a look at some of the items in this showcase. It's absolutely loaded, from Vitas to Game & Watches, even some Pokemon Go stuff. They really do have a wide selection here in this cabinet. A couple Famicom SPs hiding out in the back there, if you didn't notice, and underneath that they have a whole wide variety of consoles, cartridges. I mean, just look at all those Dreamcast, Super Game Boy complete in box. It's a lot. Not too many Pokemon games here, but all prices that I've seen so far have been pretty fair, so it's always a good sign when you see fair prices at a hard off. Let's check out the rest of this game section though. On the back wall, I immediately spotted a DS right off the top, and that got me curious what else they might have. Had this Watermelon 64 controller here. No Ice Blues today, but they did have a pretty good selection of chargers. Those chargers are going to come in handy for those consoles that don't have chargers. That way I'll be able to test them out to make sure they're working. Got a couple PS3 controllers over here as well. Some Famicom controllers, a whole lot of loose cartridges here on the wall, but then to my surprise I saw a full box complete Pokemon box. You don't see those every day. Ruby and Sapphire copy of Pokemon box complete, not just the game itself with the GameCube case. That's a good sight to see. Check out that Ghostbusters game too. I mean, this is stuff you're not going to see every day. And here in their bins, in the electronics section, they had some freaking heat, man. Look at that. Right off the bat, I found a DS. Had to scoop that. And then they had a DS Lite there as well. Fun fact, the first ever Nintendo DS I had was that color. However, it was the North American release, so it had the silver on the bottom instead of black. Super glad to see that DS. Really hoping it works. Definitely gonna have to test that out, and if it does work, I definitely will pick it up. Let's go ahead and continue to flip on through and see what else we can find in here. I always enjoy seeing new old stock items like this Nintendo 64 adapter and these GameCube AV cables here. In a couple years, let's say 10 or 20 years down the road, those items are going to be pretty hard to find. So right now, it's always a good idea to pick up a sealed set of AV cables or any type of sealed in box accessories that you're thinking of grabbing, because in the next couple years, I don't see all this complete in box stuff still being on the shelf like this. Not only do they have some complete in box accessories, they do have a lot of loose stuff here in these bins. And most importantly, I did see a couple cool accessories for Game Boy in this bottom bin here. Check out this advanced SP carrying case with a wrist strap. That is just nostalgic. I do have a cobalt blue SP bag at home, so that was super tempting to go ahead and grab one of those guys. Some game cases, a couple different accessories in this bin. And you know, sometimes I see some stuff that I don't even know what it is, and I did not know what that was, so we put that right back in there. I think it's about time to go ahead and move around to the next section though. We really got a good feel here of the games. I'm definitely gonna grab these DS's if they do work, and hey, I might as well check out this white DS Lite as well. If they all three work, they're all a great price, so I'll probably pick them up. Anyways, I think it's time to go ahead and check out what they got on the camera side before I make my way to the junk section. So let's go see what they got. Got a couple iPods here, some older iPods. I'm an Apple collector, so I'd love to see some older iPods. And then we'll go straight into the point and shoots. Pretty wide variety of point and shoots from Canon to Nikon to Lumix and some Pentax. They really did have a little bit of everything in the point and shoot cabinet. Not too many recent model GoPros, but they did have an 11 and a 10 in there and a few older model GoPros as well. On the back of the point and shoot cabinet, they had a lot of older glass and even some DSLR and mirrorless bodies as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and see what that junk section's hitting for. I did see it in the very back of the store and it had been calling my name the entire time, but I haven't been in here yet, so let's dive straight in. Immediately off the bat, they have some stuff and all of it is in pretty good condition, and I really do like seeing that yellowed DS complete in box for $16.50. I mean, that's pretty nostalgic and vintage. They got a bunch of old soft when it comes to Apple product as well, and a few Game Boys up top, including some Vitas. Got some Walkmans on this side and some other different various products here that you can use for your electronic needs. And I did spot an iPod Touch in the top left corner of this specific showcase for just 7,700 yen. Take a look at their junk section too. The bins were not disappointing today. They were absolutely loaded, and they had a bunch of stuff on the top upper shelves as well. A ton of bulk vinyls here as well. And at this specific store, they have the 110, 330, and 550 yen system. Everything is marked clearly, and you also do have rubber bands to indicate the stuff that doesn't have a price on it already. Got loose UMDs, loose AV and power supplies. You got controllers, DS games, Game Boy games, Wii stuff. Any console that has been made, you can pretty much find a game for it here in this junk section, and it just might work as well. You never know. A bunch of PS1 controllers, 64 accessories as well, and even a Wii wheel and some Super Nintendo stuff in that specific bin too. Not seeing any i-Series controllers here, so we're going to keep it pushing and see what else they have to offer here in the junk section. But just take a look at the top here as we're making our way around the side. Taking a quick look at the rack on the back, I didn't notice any iPods, but they did have a bunch of old soft phones, even some Xperia and Pioneer stuff, and a bunch of loose tablets. Check out that one with the busted screen right there. Some stuff definitely is worse for wear in the junk section, but that's why you look and see what you can find, because some stuff is just fine. Stuff like that usually has a disclaimer tag like that one, where it did let you know exactly what was wrong with it, but a lot of this stuff is just kind of buy at your own risk and gamble to try out to see if it works. Many hard-offs, such as this one here, even do feature a workbench with various component cables and a power supply. That way you can test out any of the systems, screens, or other various items that you're checking out here in the junk section. That way you can make sure it's up to your satisfaction before you purchase the item. Because always remember, anything purchased in the junk section is sold as is, no returns. Wrapping up this walkthrough, I want to take a quick look at the collectible section, and you can tell it is pretty lined. Walls, die-cast, figures, Gundams. They had a pretty wide selection, and their guitar section was not to be slept on as well. From acoustics to electrics and bass, they had a wide variety of Fender, Gibson, Martin. They honestly had a nice selection of just about any brand that you play. Anything from a Les Paul style to an ES335 or a Strat on the electrics, they had you covered. Anything from a made in American model to made in Japan or somewhere else like Malaysia, they had those too. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and dropping a like down below. If you end up visiting this hard off, let me know what you got in the comments, and until next time, I'll be out this thing. Peace!